There was just something about the way that this story kind of came to us. It's through friendship and the way that we felt like it was a story that needed to be told.
Yeah, I was blown away by the movie. I mean, thank you.
It was amazing.
It was awesome.
The movie was so inspirational. I thought it was amazing.
I loved it. It was great.
So I think Brave Maker provides a platform to engage with those stories of justice and beauty and relationship and spirituality.
Great film to talk about how Brave Maker can be the eyes that we can't be.
You know what? I gotta give hats off to Brave Maker for bringing us out here tonight and putting together such a great group.
Brave Maker does not exist without the community of people that volunteer. If you want to be a part of it, please join, especially if you're a part of a community center or a church or a school or your business in Silicon Valley wants to affect change here in the Bay Area. We want you to join us. Be a sponsor, volunteer. There's a ton of ways you can get involved. Brave stories change the world.
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 Well, hey, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Tony Gapastone. I'm the founder and executive director of Brave Maker and the Brave Maker Film Festival. We've been offering these online film festival experiences since Shelter in Place started here in our headquarters of Redwood City, California, but obviously across the country and the world has experienced this need to connect online and talk about stories. Even more than ever, we need stories about justice and hope and diversity and inclusion. I'm going to bring in my co-host today, Christina Jackson. Hi, Christina.
Hello. Hey, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Christina has been joining me, and you probably saw her in the last video. That video is over almost a year and a half old now. So Christina and I met a year and a half ago, and it's been really great to partner together and be able to see her story elevate. And today she is going to be hosting with me a very special, it's our first international guest that we get to talk about today. It is just mind-blowing to me that we have somebody from Malawi, Africa. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Tony and Christina. Thank you for having me.
This is amazing. So Ken, the producer of the short film documentary, Who is Ida, that features Ida, why don't you both introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about this film that we got to feature this week?
Well, let's see. My name is Ken Kobre, and I'm a filmmaker. And I was told about Ida and what an amazing thing she was accomplishing in Malawi, the country of Malawi. And I made arrangements to go down and visit with her and then film her. I went actually twice to film her and try to tell a little bit about her story. And maybe Ida could introduce herself and then tell a little bit about how she started her organization.
Hi, I'm Ida Puliwa. I'm the founder and executive director of Otakaraka Foundation, based here in Malawi. Otakaraka is all about passing on the kindness. So I founded this organization in 2011 after this wonderful professor, Dr. Makita Hill, supported me at college. So in order to pass on the kindness that she rendered to me, I went back to my community. I started this organization as a way of saying thank you to Dr. Makita Hill. And we started with 65 volunteers, and today we have over 4,000 volunteers with different programs ranging from girl empowerment, sustainable agriculture, and many other programs.
Okay. And could you explain a little bit about the idea of this passing on the kindness? Because that's what's so unique about your program. First of all, your program was born in Malawi. It didn't come from someplace in the Western world, something coming into Malawi telling you what you needed. You came up with the idea. And can you explain that idea just a little bit?
Okay, actually, what happened was that I grew up in a society whereby people did not recognize girl empowerment. So I was the first girl from my community to go to secondary school and to college. Unfortunately, before I finished college, my uncle who was sponsoring me passed away. And this other day, I just met this Makita here, and I was the only girl from my village who could translate for her. By that time, she had come to my village to do some work. So upon hearing my story, she offered to sponsor me courage. And after seeing what she has done to me, I asked her that I would pay her back after I graduate. But instead, Dr. Makita Hill told me to say that, no, you don't need to pay me back, but you need to find somebody else in a similar situation like you and support her after you graduate. So after seeing what she had done, I couldn't wait to finish my studies. I went back to my village to meet up with the chiefs, and I told them that I wanted to do something and to bring this spirit to the community, because it was like somebody who never knew me, who was not related to me, had supported me. And I thought that in the villages we had so many people, some of them are maybe relatives, some of them we don't know them. And I believe that we can do something to change something and to transform our village.
Tell
Yes.
them, tell them a little bit about the food problem you had with the food being available for 6 months a year when it rains, and then everyone's starving for 6 months.
Can I hold on? Can I, before you answer that, I love Ken's taking over the interview. This is great. He's doing his documentary thing. I wanted to point out, like, I love the name of your organization, Otakaraka. Just even saying that out loud, I feel like has such force. But it means to pass the kindness. Is that right? Otakaraka?
Yes, it means to pass on the kindness.
So awesome. I am amazed watching the documentary about what you have done and how you've done it. And both Christine and I, this is we get to host these conversations every week, and we just love it. And going back to what Ken was leading you to, the fact that you are reforesting this village in Malawi because of the resources and the lacking. Yeah, so go ahead and tell us about that. And by the way, there are people watching live, so let me just pull those in. We have Beverly who's saying hello, so excited to see you.
Hi, Beverly.
Patty says, yay, Ida. Suzanne says, so glad to see you. And Candace says, so proud of your inspiring work. So good work. Go ahead and keep talking, Ida.
Okay, thank you. So among the programs that we do, actually, which I started, one of which, like Ken was saying, is Sustainable Agriculture Program. In this Sustainable Agriculture Program, we are empowering women, especially widows who are taking care of orphans, to plant twice a year and maintain food security. Another program that we have is the agroforestry program, whereby we are planting trees. These days, many trees have been cut down, and we are trying to replace them and conserve the environment. And another program that we have is the palliative care. In this program, we are supporting the sick people, those that are HIV positive and cannot support themselves. They cannot go to the hospital, but they're at home sick with no support. Yes.
Great. Christina, do you want to take the next question?
Absolutely. I wanted to ask Ida, how did you find the courage to approach the chiefs, approach a village, for people who are watching this, who want to do something on this scale, who want to get involved with their community and help people that are in need? How do you find the courage to get out there and do what needs to be done?
Actually, from my background, I came from the family with girls only. So, like I said, in my community, girls were like, we are taking like they're nothing, like they cannot do anything. So I had this courage from the beginning to do something to prove the people wrong, just to prove that girls are capable of doing something that can change or that can bring an impact to the community. So I had this courage, this very big courage, because when I thought of starting this organization and I went to meet a chief in my community, he told me that I cannot do it because I was just a girl. So you can see that even though I went to college and I wanted to do something like this, they still doubted me because to them I was just a girl and I had nothing to offer to them. So all I wanted was to prove them wrong and to bring this difference in the community, to say, no, allow girls to do these things. Girls are capable of doing anything, just like a boy child. So the courage that I had really inspired me to do this.
I love that. Yes, don't let the limitations others place on you, especially as women. A lot of times we are underestimated. So don't let that discourage you and keep on moving forward. Thank Ida. A fantastic message. Thank you.
Evan says, great job as always, Ida. Jessica, who is one of our programmers for Brave Maker, says, you are amazing, Ida. Very inspirational. Kayla says, hi, great to see you, even if only on a Facebook page. I just want to shout out, if you're just finding us, you're just scrolling on social media, I'm Tony Gapastone, and I get to run the Brave Maker Film Festival online here with my co-host, Christina Jackson. And we're talking about Who is Ida, a documentary produced by Ken Kobre. And Ken, you got to document this woman's life and tell her story. Let's hear about how you found her. I know we have another special guest who we're going to bring in that connects to how this story came to be. You want to tell us about that?
Yes. So I was able to come upon the story because one of my former students named Ann Wells is a chaplain, and she knew Don Thomas. And Don Thomas has been a doctor and been working in AIDS, both in the United States and also in Malawi. I think he's been to Malawi 20 times. And he knew about Ida. And he said to Ann, we must have a documentary about her. And so Ann contacted me, and I was able to go with Don and Ann to visit.
Don, why don't you tell us a little bit about your connection and why you thought Ida would be a great feature for a story like this?
Well, when I first met Ida through Dr. Marquita Hill, this big-hearted, kind woman who put her through her last 2 years of college and helped give support and the early projects that Ida started with Otakaraka. I was when Marquita Hill told me about Ida and said that she had all these volunteers and all that was happening, I really had doubts about it. I had been going to Malawi for many years, and I had never seen an organization that worked the way Ida's was working, with so many volunteers giving of their time, not getting anything back for it except the satisfaction of what they were seeing done. So when I met Ida, I was a little skeptical. Then she took me out into her community, and I saw how the old people and the sick were being taken care of. The orphans were being cared for by the volunteers. Crops were doubling because she started a very creative agricultural program, bringing in water twice a year. The forestry, the tree planting thing. I was so impressed. So I came back and started telling my friends about her, and that's how Annie Wells heard about it, and then she introduced me to Ken, and that started the whole thing.
The rest is history. We'll make sure we put the link if you have not watched the film yet. And again, you just found us. This 30-minute short film is available for free to watch about the very woman, Ida Puliwa, that we are talking to today. And we're so glad that we get to host you, especially in this time right now in our country. So don't forget, Ida is still in Malawi. It's midnight there. So she's staying up late to talk with us. And just before the broadcast, we weren't sure if, because sometimes the electricity just goes off, right, Ida? You don't know if you're going to be able to.
But today I'm set. It went off. I have a backup.
Oh my goodness. So we're so glad that we could do this, especially now for our country, as we're in the midst of just a radical awareness of the evil systemic injustice, especially toward Black people, and to lift and to women and to people of color and to every oppressed community. To see you and to host you today is very special. So thank you for allowing us to do that. Christina, I'll turn it over to you.
Ida, so what is really key to me is how you were able to inspire so many people, to volunteer in order to make your program successful. What do you think is your strength? How are you able to unite so many people to come together for a common cause? That's what we're doing now in the United States. As Tony touched on, we have some challenges here with justice and equality, and we're all trying to rally together right now. So what is the key to really galvanizing a movement and getting energy for people to come together, work together for a common goal to create something beautiful as you've done?
Okay. I think first I'm friendly. Whenever I meet with someone, I make sure that I need to create a friendship with that person. So since I grew up in the community, I was raised up there, I knew that things that were happening there, like the early marriages, the abuses to the elderly people were ready for a change, but all they wanted was just someone like a leader to lead them to start it. So I noticed that there was this big demand, like to have somebody to be a leader and to start something that can change lives of so many people. And you said that.
I love that. I love that you're pointing out that leadership and relationships are such a huge part of our culture. People are looking for leaders who they can trust. People are looking for leaders who are going to be honest, but also people who are going to be passionate and not self-serving. We see way too many leaders be self-serving with their gifts, with their resources. But what you have done, and the beautiful, again, Otaka Raka, the name of your organization, is to pass the kindness forward. It is just so beautiful and so simple. And I watched it with my daughters. I have 3 daughters, Ida, 9, 11, and 13. And so to watch that with them through their eyes, they were all engaged 30 minutes straight, no animation, no special effects. They were fully engaged in this really human story of empowerment and justice. And the fact that we heard that most people are living on $2 a day, and even to contribute 7 cents would be a stretch for some of your volunteers, but they were willing to sacrifice 7 cents to contribute to this larger collective of basically reforesting the community. And I was just like really in awe. And I'm so like just hoping we all can learn like from these simple human stories of, again, repeating what you said. People need friendship and people are looking for leadership. They're looking for leaders that they can trust. We've got a couple more comments here. The world needs more people like you all. Thank you for being you. Robertino, another one of our film programmers, says, Ida, you are so brave and inspiring. You have and continue to make such an impact in Africa. Who is Ida will continue to impact and inspire others worldwide. Thank you to you both, Ida and Ken.
I'd like to jump in here for just
Go
a minute.
ahead, Ken.
You mentioned that you had a young daughter that was 13 years old, and I wonder if Ida could talk for just a minute about what it's like to be 13 in Malawi. What happens when a girl turns 13?
Actually, what happens when a girl turns 13, especially when I was 13, many girls were forced to get married. And like I said earlier, that the people used to believe that girls are just born to get married and bear children. Like they cannot contribute anything to the society. So when a girl reaches 13 years old, she was going to initiation ceremony, and after returning home, she was forced to get married. Actually, many girls have been victims of forced marriages or early marriages. Of course, many were getting married because of peer pressure. Like my friend is getting married, I need also to get married. But majority of the girls, especially the orphans, were forced to get married. Others were 13 years, others 14, up to 16 years. So it was not easy to grow up in Malawi when you are 13 years old.
Wow.
Tony?
We have. Oh, go ahead, Don. Did you have a question?
Well, Ida is very humble about when you ask why she was so successful. I've observed Ida, and she jumps in and works as hard as her volunteers. When she finished college, she was offered a very good, high-paying job where she could have had a wonderful house, television, all that. She came back and lived in her own village with no income, developing this organization, no income coming in for several years. She led by example, and she has this big heart that is so compassionate. When she sees need, she jumps in and responds to it. There's a model for all these. I've just never seen a place where the volunteers were so turned on. When Ida would be offered help from the outside, she'd say, only if we cannot do this by ourselves will we take any other help from the outside. We wanted to be self-reliant. That's very unusual for much of what I saw when I worked in underdeveloped countries.
I think that's a really important thing to know because as I've been to Malawi, by the way, Ida,
Where in Malawi?
I was in Lilongwe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's at the capital, I believe. I was there. Yeah, I was there on a trip, and I spoke at a school. I can't remember the name of the school. Maybe it was Malawi. There's a Malawi Children's Center as well as a Bible school that was there that I got to visit. And I remember my life was changed by a little boy whose name was Honor, by the way. And I remember Honor got one meal a day, much like a village like you take care of. And I remember Honor spoke Chichewa, I believe. Is that right? And he was talking to me as he was eating, and I was serving, and I had been there maybe 3 days in a row. And Honor got one of the interpreters over and talked to the interpreter. He was maybe 10 years old, and Honor said to the interpreter he was concerned about me because he hadn't seen me eaten in 3 days, and he wanted to share his food with me. And I remember just really being like overwhelmed and touched by, again, this Otakaraka generosity idea. But I was also very aware, as Don, that you said about the need for people like me from the West, especially white people, coming in and trying to save and be a white savior. And so I really appreciate that the movement that you have done here, Ida, is all because of the people you have assembled with help. It's not like
I can jump on
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, what happened, like I said, someone who never knew me assisted me with college fees. So I knew that there are people like all I need to do in my village was to bring love and to teach people that they can keep on passing on love and kindness without depending on people from abroad. You know, it's common in Malawi and in Africa that maybe when there is an organization, they just wait from people from outside to come and give them money and support them with everything. But I had this spirit, I had this feeling that I can bring a change. I can do something different. If I can bring this kind of program to my community, for example, I know my community is very poor. I knew that people could not afford to eat maybe 3 times a day. Some people could even go to bed with empty stomachs. But I wanted to show them that even though they are poor, but they can do something to support someone in need. So when I came with this idea, it was like, Ida, are you serious? Are we going to manage to contribute 7 cents every month? Like it's 50 kwacha, right? So in American dollar is 7 cents. So I said, yes, you can. The little you can, I mean, the little you have, you can start contributing. For example, today you can contribute 1 cent. Tomorrow you can contribute 2 cents. By the end of the month, you'll be able to reach 7 cents. So people doubted, but it worked. And in the end, it was like everyone felt like it was a pride, you know, like they had this thing to say, even though I'm very poor, but I'm able to support someone with the little I'm contributing. So this is also bringing like pride to everyone who is contributing.
I want to play a quick clip from a speech that you gave when you collected everybody in 2019 and how you posed those questions. Because what you just phrased, you are truly empowering the people. You are truly empowering the people to do the work of justice and equity. So I'm going to play this clip from the documentary. So hold on for 1 second, because I think it was really important what I heard. And by the way, I got choked up at the end. So great job, Ken, for making this film and bringing her story to life. So hold on, we'll play it so people who have not seen it can hear.
You have eaten lunch. Has your neighbor eaten lunch? If you have a blanket, does your neighbor have a blanket? She talked about the helpless orphans, widows, and elderly in each community. She asked the crowd, what have you done to support those in need?
Yeah, because I remember as soon as I started speaking,
I think we in America are at that same point today and asking ourselves the question, will we be willing to care for our neighbor, to uphold justice for those who don't have it? And so, yeah, I just think your work is global and is human. And we have people who are saying, Don introduced me to Ida, and I visited several times. Thank you. And I am so impressed with the love that her students and volunteers have for her. Very inspiring story from Ida. Thank you all for watching live. If anybody else has any questions for Ida or comments or observations, we'll be on live for 10 more minutes. You can keep asking those questions. But Ida, what would you like to say to those who are watching that want to help or want to visit? Are those still options? What are your thoughts about people who want to contribute to the work that you're doing through Otakaraka?
I would encourage them to contribute something, because if you have watched the documentary, in the end, I think Ken mentioned something about I demand access. So there are so many girls who are waiting who are waiting to go back to school. There are so many widows who are waiting for us, like to assist them with the fundraiser and have enough food to feed the orphans. So if you need to help, if somebody out there wants to help us, wants to support Otakaraka, we are now a non-profit in USA, and we have a board committee there. I Demand Access, and our website is www.idemandaccess.org. Everything that you can support, everything that you can contribute will reach us here in Malawi. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you're interested to participate and to join IDA, go to idemandaccess.org to find out more information. If anybody has a question or a comment, we're still here. IDA is an inspiring leader from Victor. Christina, do you have any questions, final questions for IDA before we close up our time?
Absolutely, Ida. You work so tirelessly. You make so many sacrifices. Your labor has now bared such magnificent fruit. What part of this journey have you found to be the most rewarding?
Did you hear the question, Ida?
Hello?
Uh-oh,
Yes.
I think we lost her.
Are we able to hear?
Can you hear us, Ida? We might have.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, cool.
But I didn't hear Christina.
Oh, yeah, let me repeat that question. So, you've made so many sacrifices and you've worked so hard, and your labor now has bared such magnificent fruit for yourself and the villagers. What part of the journey have you found the most rewarding?
Well, the part of the journey that I found most rewarding is when I see a girl who was once married and now she's back to school, and I can see that girl has a bright future, and I can see that she might graduate someday and become somebody in the community. And another thing is when I see a widow who used to be very poor, who could not manage to feed her children or the orphan, but now she has a beautiful house. Now she has she has enough food to feed the family. Even when I see a patient on palliative care program who could not afford to go to the hospital, but now Otakalaka is taking care of that patient, and he's able to get the medicine, whatever he wants, the food. I feel like it's something rewarding, and I'm so happy to see that happening. Yeah.
I am so happy that we got to see your story. The film is a gift. Ken, thank you so much for capturing it. And so that way you can share it with the world. It's an amazing story, so empowering, so beautiful, so needed
But
right
I want to say something about Ken. About Ken. When Ken came to Malawi to shoot this documentary, I was pregnant. He mentioned that he came twice. The first time I was in my second trimester, and the first time I was in my first trimester, and the second time I was in my third trimester. I don't know what I can describe Ken, but Ken is a loving person. He's so compassionate. He's so understanding. He gave me all the support that I needed. And I don't know how I can describe him. I just pray that someday Ken will get an award for this documentary, because what he did was so lovely. Yes.
Can I just one little thing?
Sure. Kudos. Go ahead.
The part of the miracle of this story is how a single act of kindness by a compassionate woman, Dr. Marquita Hill of Blacksburg, Virginia, has multiplied to an organization with 4,000 volunteers, touching the lives of thousands of people, because the seed of her kindness fell on the heart of someone as talented and as compassionate with the leadership skills of one single girl who had to fight an uphill battle in a male-dominated community and change things. And now how the kindness of one man, this man, Ken, who out of his own pocket went to Malawi twice, paying for all the expenses for this film, to spread this message to thousands of people. What the act of one person has really multiplied so much, and I love that miracle.
And you know another funny thing, John and everybody, is that when I went to meet with the chiefs to tell them that I wanted to start this, they said, no, you cannot do this. You are just a girl. But you know, it's very funny today to see them coming to me to say, we want to be part of this. We want to be volunteers and work with you. And it's very funny that what started like a joke, now people are watching it worldwide. This is so funny, and this is so beautiful. I'm so happy that my dream has reached this, and I don't regret anything that I did. I'm so grateful for everyone that supported me. You know, like the documentary said, when I first delivered my speech, only 65 people were interested to work with me. But today we are talking of over 4,000 people. And I'm sure that as days and years are passing by, we'll get more and more volunteers and we'll be able to reach out to so many communities and maybe beyond Malawi. So I'm so happy.
Malawi with their professor.
And you should be. You should be very happy and you should be very proud. And Brave Maker is definitely proud to say you are a part of the Brave Maker family now. You're not just a girl, you're a Brave Maker who is changing Malawi and changing the world. That's pretty amazing. I want to see that on a t-shirt. Not just a girl, but a Brave Maker.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we have, we want you to know that obviously this video will last forever. So Suzanne is wondering if you can share this. Yes, you can definitely share this. It will go replay. Please share it. We'll also have a link on YouTube too, if you want to share it through a YouTube link. But we really encourage you to please go to IDA's website, idemandaccess.org, especially now is a time for us to figure out how we can otakaraka, pass the kindness forward, how we can support others. And we're so grateful for the story. So thank you, Ken. Thank you. We have a heartwarming to the core to see these huge ripples of love and compassion. Brave Maker indeed. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Don, for joining us. Is there anything else you want to say, Ken, before we end our time here today?
Well, the main thing is thank you for having us, and thank you, Ida, for being on, because I think that no matter how we talk about it, it's so great to see you.
Yes.
And to hear that personality come through, even though you're 5,000 miles away, I feel like we're right in the same room together. And I'm just thrilled that we were able to have this moment. We haven't talked to each other directly like this in a long time. And it's just so exciting to see your energy. What a pleasure.
Beautiful. Well, go ahead and check out the comments on all the Facebook posts because you have a lot of love being shared in there. So we wish you the best, Ida, and Ken and Don. Thank you for being here. Christina, any last words from you?
Thank you so much. Beautiful. I feel empowered. I feel inspired. Thank you so much for sharing your story and just having your strength.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we have a motto that brave stories change the world, and
Yes.
you are the story. Thanks, Ida.
Thank you.